Good morning. See, there are many top posts, many top millionaires list, so many things are there. But all those posts, President of India, President of United States of America, and all other G7 nations, all their posts are subject to variation, changeable, removable. But even if the entire constitution is read and understand, advocate is also some authority which was approved and recognized by the constitution. Therefore, I proudly claim that advocate is constitutional post. But the territorial jurisdiction of advocate is larger than any other post. Doctrine of lesser was not applicable. Privileges are there for the advocates, and some extraordinary power is also given to advocate to deny the disclosure of the communication between him and his advocate. Such a fantastic post, advocate, you should feel proud that you are an advocate. But until you maintain the decorum, ethics and moral of the profession, otherwise there is possibility of causing hurdles to your profession and your dignity also consequence. Okay, a judgment deals with challenging the continuance of Advocate General post. This had happened at Bihar. AR 2022, Patna 52. Sanjay Karol, Chief Justice, and S. Kumar, Dinesh Kumar alias State of Bihar. According to him, the Advocate General who was holding the post continues his post even though the change of government was there. That was his contention. See how many prayers are allowed in the writ petitions. Number one, the issuance of writ of quo warranto. Then writ of mandamus holding that the respondent is illegally occupying the post. Then for issuance of any other appropriate writ for occupation of the post. So these all are the things they have challenged. The concept was precisely defined, discussed by the division bench of the Bihar High Court. Those who are want to know what is doctrine of pleasure, what is doctrine of pleasure, the powers of the governor. Governor is also holding the post as under the concept of doctrine of pleasure. But this Advocate General who is holding the post is not holding, though it was doctrine of pleasure, but the provision of Advocate General appointment was something different from other provisions, because unless and until other arrangements are made, the Advocate General continued to hold his office. So that was the deep discussion they have discussed. They have also discussed about the drafting of Article 145. Earlier, that was incorporated as 165 of the Constitution of India. Nizaruddin Ahmed, who proposed the amendment, stating that the provisions pertaining to Advocate General should not be like a tenure post, though it is within the ambit of doctrine of pleasure. But they say that shall receive, he will hold the office until another arrangement was made. Therefore, it was held that tenure of Advocate General would not be coterminous with the Chief Minister and the framers. Therefore, constitutionally introduced 3 of Article 145 corresponding to present article 165(3). This was Dr. Ambedkar accepted this. House was also accepted that. So those who are really interested in understanding what is doctrine of lesser, how whether the Advocate General can continue or not, but they can impose super power over the Advocate General. What all these things are dramatic play of the government, which was being run by sometimes slave dynasty people who does not have own brain to manage the government. It had happened again and again. It had happened, appointing an Advocate General and appointing a super power advocate more than the Advocate General, and appointing additional Advocate General X, Y, Z, whoever may be they are appointing, whether to tarnish the image of Advocate General or to impress before the, but Supreme Court has and other High Court already held that except Advocate General post, all other Advocate General are considered as a government pleaders only. They say special government pleader, extraordinary special government pleader, all depends upon money. This writ petition was filed by the person. There is a proverb in English that the jobless barber sometimes turns to his daughter. That which is happened. He is ran after a wild goose. This is what had happened. Whatever it may be, it is helpful for you to understand what is the doctrine of privilege, doctrine of pleasure. So every office have got immunity, privilege. Advocates is also having some immunity. When he is attending the court, he is not supposed to be arrested. All these things are there. And immunity from not disclosing the communication between him and the client. Okay, it's all right, all over subject. And what is today, from today onwards, this Agni Nakshatram will start, commence. Actually, it is not that suddenly something is rising and heat will start. It's not that. See, from today onwards, the sun rays will straight away fall on our particular geographical area, 90 degrees. This will run for first 7, after 7, 15 days, commencing from Bharani Nakshatra, then Kartika Nakshatra, thereafter Rohini Nakshatra end. This period will be considered 90 degree Celsius. So after Agni Nakshatram is over, don't be happy and everything was current was off and current was on. Not that. Thereafter also there will be impact. So you have to think about this. This is between 90 degree and thereafter it will come 91, 93, 95 or minimize 45 degrees. These things are most important to take over. And here, because we are surrounded by 3 corners of sea, and the effect of this Agni Nakshatra may not be that much of heavy, but in North India, where the people always contain the heat around the clock, because there was no sea wave, unless and until Himalayan cold wave reaches to some extent, not to like Nagpur, Hyderabad, Bangalore, here all heavy heat will be available. Therefore only they will not plaster the outer wall normally, because that heat may even crack the wall. That was the reason. So this is what my information. This is it is not astrology, it is astronomical warning. Kindly go through all those things and be proud that you are an advocate, and do not deviate from the lamps advocate lamps of conduct. Don't deviate, keep it intact, and not only be proud but also act as a proud as an adult. Best wishes.